Oh, there he is.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of this week's Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show, with thanks to our good friends at Vilic Law. We're a foursome tonight with Liz Ridley and Kev Darren. We've got another guy from the Gold Coast who's top of the league. Part 2 had Brett Bud Weir from Palm Beach Sharks. Tonight, we've got Alex from Gold Coast United, who's the NPLW coach and is also top of the league. Alex, welcome.
Thank you, Darren. Pleasure to be here.
Fantastic to have you. Now, you've just finished training. How was the session tonight?
Session was very good. As you can imagine, when the team is playing well and we're functioning well, everybody is buzzing and wanting to be at training. So it makes my job as a coach a little bit easier when everybody is enthusiastic and looking forward to the weekend's game.
Yeah, no problem motivating players when you're top of the league, is there? Absolutely
not.
All right. So, of course, you beat Lions 2 weeks ago, which really has set the competition alight. Tell us about the weeks leading up to that. Did you get a feeling that your side was coming together and that you were going to produce the goods on the day?
You never get a feeling you can only do what you can control. And I know that we had good preparation every week. I addressed the players in particularly the week before. A couple of weeks prior to the game, we're not worried about Lions. We're always looking to focus on the job at hand and the weekend's game. So, as I said before, with training, it helps when you're winning. It helps when you're playing well. We were confident, but you can never be confident against any of the top 3 or 4 teams, because on the day, any team can win. All you need to do is have 3 or 4 players that aren't at their best against the Lions or an East perhaps, or a Capalaba, and it can be really costly. So we were very fortunate that we were all at 100% against the Lions. We left nothing in the tank, and I'm still smiling even 2 weeks later. I was really, really pleased to beat such a great team that Lions are. So for us, it was a big achievement.
And not only have you beaten Lions, but you've pretty much wiped the floor with every other team in the competition. So nine games, you've played 1 game less than the rest of the team. The teams in the competition. You've still got a catch-up game against Southwest Queensland Thunder. 8 wins, 1 draw. The big thing that sticks out looking at the ladder, 7 goals against. Your defence is sensational.
Once again, I'm very, very fortunate to have what I consider 2 best centre-backs, perhaps in Queensland. They made the Queensland state team last year. They have such a great understanding. And our visa player, Momo Hayashi, she is so clever. Even when I join in trainings and with all of my experience at playing, she just reads me like, she's just incredible. You cannot get past her. So we're very fortunate to have 2 centre-backs of that quality. And then when we have our right and left fullbacks, when you've got such great players behind you or beside you, everybody tends to lift. So touch wood, it continues. We've got a very, very strong back 4. And there's a reason for that. We've just got 2 awesome players at centre-back. We've got Cassie in goal now, who can coordinate the backs a little bit better than we did last year. So as a unit, as a defensive unit, we're very, very well coordinated and playing well.
Very good. Now, while we've got you here, we might as well just run through the quick look at last week's games, any of the standout matches, and this weekend's fixtures coming up. You, of course, had a 4-2 win over the Gap last week, which is another feather in the cap, a great result there. The big one for me was Capalaba, 3 wins in a row, getting over Logan Lightning.
Yeah, Capalaba, I think, will be a really, really dangerous team to play. Hanno is an awesome coach. We all know that. They had some new inclusions in the team, some new players recently. So, when you think about it realistically, that takes 2 or 3 weeks at least to gel. So I can understand why they're getting stronger. Fortunately, we played them before they've got their new players, and probably they weren't at their best. But I'm certainly very, very worried about playing them again, the way they've been performing the last few weeks.
Given that you played the Gap last weekend, they're going to John Fredericks to take on Capalaba. Who would you tip in that game?
That's a hard game. That's the way I see that game is the team that gets on top early, because they're both good teams. So the team that gets the advantage early, I think it'll be very difficult for the other team to chase the game, because if you're playing Capalaba and they get a goal up on you, you know you're in for a task just to get back to 1-1. By the same token, the team that gets up early will lift their game even more, and they can easily put 2 or 3. So for me, that one's a 50-50, too hard to call. Yeah, the Gap is a very, very, very good attacking team. They have conceded some goals this year, so that's probably a little bit of their weakness. And Capalaba are good at going forward. So flick a coin on that one. Too hard to call.
Fair enough. Let's go to your match against Football Queensland QAS. Are you seeing, I'm sure you watch all the games, are you seeing signs of improvement from them?
QAS are improving every week, yeah? They're playing, they're young girls, they're trying to play football. So full credit to them. They're playing, they're not, for such a young team, they're not just, they get pressured or they get cornered into an area. They're not kicking the ball and losing composure. So in terms of development of those young players, I think they're improving every week. When they come up against perhaps teams like us and Capalaba, where there's a few older players and experienced players, as the game goes on, that's where the experience comes in. So if you look at QAS, and I've been looking at them all week this week, they kept East to goalless for most of that first half, yeah, and they play well, but when you come up against an experienced team, I think as the game goes on, probably the experience edges out a little bit.
Okay. And one more game that I'd like you to run your eyes over is Logan Lightning up against Easts.
Yeah, that's another one. So for me, the big concerns are Logan. On a good day, that when they combine, they can score 5 or 6 against any team. East, again, with the players they've just signed recently, that's another one. I think East, Logan, Capalaba and Lions and ourselves, honestly, if you said who's going to win on the day, you couldn't call it. I know I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm being genuine. I really don't know. I hope it's a draw.
Ever the diplomat.
That would help you.
The other two matches on the weekend are Lions up against Mitchelton. You'd think Lions would get over the line there. And the bottom of the table clash between Moreton Bay and Southwest Queensland Thunder. You'd think the Thunder would get the points there, but, you know, maybe I think Moreton Bay would be eyeing off that one. That'd be there'd be another chance for them to get some points on the board.
I watched Moreton Bay the last few weeks. They are improving. It is difficult when you're playing against teams that have been together. I mean, they had one team last year and they have a different team this year. So it's always difficult to regroup. So they're having a difficult year, but they are getting better. Southwest Queensland, they were leading against us 1-0. They're a well-organised team. They can counter-attack fairly well. You know, Moreton Bay, and that one as well, if Moreton Bay can get a goal in the first half and just lift that little bit more, all they need is a little bit of a catalyst, perhaps a goal or an early goal. I think they can maybe get away with a win there.
Interesting. Big call. Now it finally comes out with a big prediction. All right, Alex, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you coming on the show tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season. We might have a chat a little bit later on in the year.
Thank you very much, Darren. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
See you, mate.
Bye, Liz. Bye.
That was, of course, Alex Bundalo, the coach of the NPLW team for Gold Coast United. Now, let's get up to the Sunshine Coast. Kev, we've kept you caged. It's time to release. All right, so looking at the weekend's results, Noosa, you said that they were going to storm away with this league, and they did it by the narrowest of margins, 1-0 over Butto.
Yeah, that was at Buderim. I understand Buderim, they defended really well, and it was the one of the guys I call one of the M&Ms, Matt Thompson, 36-year-old striker. He got the goal. I still believe Noosa will win it. The only danger now, because of another result that came up that has killed off NYU, that's Kawana winning their first game of the year.
Yes, congratulations to them.
Yeah, that was, they've been going to do it to somebody, but I didn't think they'd do it to NYU at the Andina. But but I think BG's probably the only chance. Noosa play Woombye this week up there. We will do our best. That's all I'll say. They are really good. And and BG's are honest. They would like us to get something out of the game, because that will be a 4-point break, because BG's are cool in their heels this week. They have the bye. So yeah, I think Noosa will Noosa they know how to win games. They know how to win the premiership. Kevin Evans just got them ticking over nicely. We all talked about the dream team, Maroochydore, and all that, but as it turns out, Noosa and Noosa. We're going for a 4-peat.
Kawana are travelling up to Gympie to take on Gympie United. Can Kawana go 2 in a row?
They can. Gympie, I always say about Gympie, great place to go. I love going to Gympie. Tough place to win. They're like a whole different animal when they're at home. They got fantastic supporters. They're really good. When I said some people think they're really bad, I think they're really good, if you know what I'm saying. They are really manic, and that's what you want. They can. Gympie at home, if Adam Cross those on the field, they'll probably get him, because Crossy will bang in a few goals. He is the fittest guy in the league. Does all these CrossFit and triathlon type things, and he's and he'll run all day. But Kawana they got some good young players, blokes like Huston and Bradley Robb and these sorts of guys. They are, and Ollie Collum scored a couple, so he might be back in form. He was Golden Boot last year for Kawana, and he got a couple in that win. Got to go for the home team. I think I went for the home team in my vlog, so I'm going for the home team again. I think Kawana, but not by many, and not with a great deal of confidence, but I think Gympie will get them.
All right. Nambour Yandina travelling to Coolum. Is win for the away team there?
Yes. Corey Nix will not allow to be upset again. And Coolum, they got beat 10-0 by BGs, and had 2 players sent off, including their best player, the Flying Scotsman, Scott Ferris. He won't be available. It was 2 straight reds, I think. And Coolum. They're struggling for players. It's difficult for them. But they'll soldier on, and they'll cause a few problems here and there if they get off to a good start. But it won't be against NYU. NYU got, they got Josh Sansucci and Jacob Fullock, and they got guys that can score all over the park. So it's going to be Cooley will have a tough time.
Sansucci's at BOR Glasshouse this season, isn't he now, Kev?
Good call. They got Fullock instead. You're right. Got me. Yeah. That's right.
Go the local.
Yeah, that's right. Well done. He's all over it. I'm not. No, you're right. Sansucci is there, but they got Jake Fullock in his place. That's to replace him. He got 7 goals in 3 games, Jake.
Did you give a prediction before for Caloundra Maroochydore?
No, Maroochydore.
Maroochydore.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
Yep, and as I said, that they can keep Ethan Galbraith quiet. He's the under 20 all white with the build of an all black. He's about 6'6". Keeping it, but they got at the back. They got Nick Arden and James Von Hoff, and Nick will stick with him. Or he was captain of the Wanderers last year, Nick Arden,
Right.
and he will. I reckon if what's the name goes off, if Ethan Galbraith goes off for a break, I think Nick might go off for a break and sit beside him in the dugout. That's how close I think he's going to be to him all day.
Okay.
So,
let's flip over to the ladies now. And BWA Glasshouse had a big win over your Snakies.
yeah,
Maroochydore had a Gimpy.
Yeah, that was a good effort by Gimpy. I thought 3-0. I thought they did really well. They're the fly in the ointment. They did knock Caloundra over up there 4-1. Unbelievable. Yeah. So they can always surprise you. Not a bad side. They've got a really good good Sammy. The two Sammys, Sammy Bradshaw and Sammy Sutton, they are fast and they're good players. You know what I mean? It's a fairly young side, but yeah, they can surprise anybody. Who they got this week? You got it right in front of you.
Yes, I do. Gimpy are playing Nambour Yandina.
Ooh.
At Nambour.
Yeah, at Nambour. Yeah, I think. And NYU had the narrow win over Caloundra midweek. I think NYU will get them at home. Yeah, I'm not tipping it with any great confidence, but you're right. He'll get them at home. They'll get them at home, I think. They got Kiara Richvalski and Kate Day, who can't turn the light out and be in bed before it's dark. So they are quick as.
Maroochydore taking a commanding lead in that competition. They travel to Woombye. BWA Glasshouse are hosting Caloundra FC. Nice one, Kev. Let's keep things moving along here because I appreciate we're taking up a bit of time in tonight's show. Liz! Now, the Bulls had a big 5-0 away victory at Robina. Tell us about the trip.
Yeah, it did. It's good. Actually, it was a lovely day. It's nice down there. A bit dry. I thought they might have had a bit more green grass down there, so close to the coast, but they didn't. But anyway, we played actually straight after their men's team, so it was actually good. Got down there nice and early and watch some of the men's game. But no, the girls' reserve grade had a good game. They came away with a 3-0 win also. Topside got out there, do what they do best every week. Clean slate again for Tegan Gordon, our captain and goalkeeper. They're still to concede, a goal. I think I need a coffee. But big game this week with Penn Power. So top of the table clash. We'll just see how that one pans out. Girls have had a good training session this week, both nights. So I think they're all pretty relaxed and just another day at the office type thing.
Of course, the big results from last weekend was Annalee defeating UQS 2-1 and the Lakes going down to Broadbeach.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going on with Broadbeach. I thought that would have, a bit bigger scoreline. But anywho, Annalee UQ was the big surprise for me. That would make this weekend's games really interesting because you got Annalee taking on Virginia. So that could end up being a very close game as well. If Annalee,
I was actually at Carina last weekend, Liz, and saw their match against Carina where they won 5-0. Virginia, a side that crosses the ball. They get to the byline and cross the ball. It's and it's great to see in the competition. They don't exactly have tall players in the box, but the girls do have some heading ability, and that's such an advantage.
That's it, exactly right. So no, it'd be good. I think probably another good game will be Coomera v Robina. They're both all very close. They all know each other as well. I think from last weekend's game, number 20 from Robina, Kayla Miller-Gorse, she was a bit of a force in the first half. Every time gameplay, she was there across either side of the field. Made herself sort of a nuisance, so to speak, but it helped Robina to keep us to 1-0. So I think you put her on the park, and then you've got Coomera's captain Brittany, number 10, who's always a strong force in the middle. That could be an interesting game down there at Coomera. as much as they're up there, and Robina's a little bit lower. Robina are probably getting better as they go on, like every team, and getting a bit more comfortable into training, and the girls getting more familiar with each other. That could actually probably end up being a good game too. So there's a few close ones.
Yeah, just going through the list, there's some great matchups. Cooma hosting Robina, Grange Thistle against Carina. Carina would be eyeing that off as a chance to.
Yeah, I think they'd be hoping, but I think Kelvin would be looking for that first win too. So I'm sure he's got those girls training hard down there at Grange.
Yep. Virginia with Annalie against Annalie, the Anthony Costa derby.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Anthony Costa coached Annalie before he moved to Virginia.
He did. Yeah, that's exactly. That could be a very close game. I don't know if I want to call that one. I'm going to do it, Alex, and sit on the fence on that one.
UQFC hosting the Lakes. Now, given current form, I'd say UQ would be good things for that one.
Yeah, I'd say UQ.
All right, let's drill down a bit closer on this Ipswich City Peninsula Power game.
Oh shit. Okay, what do you want to know?
Well, what do you think? How are you going to control the force of nature that is Brittany Whitfield?
Oh well, I'd say those things. I don't know. I think we had a good last year before. We know her style of play, and I think if what's the word I'm looking for to be political? If we can control her and control the girls around her that feed her, then she's not going to have a chance to get a goal away. It's keeping it, us making the breaks through their midfield and through their back line, and making sure that midfield and Britt don't get the ball. Mark them close, mark them tight, give them space, let them run. Don't tell them what we're doing, but give them that false sense of security, and then we'll be there. Britt Whitfield's one of those ones you don't know how to contain her until you see her on the park for the first 10, 15 minutes to see where her headspace is. Once you know where her headspace is, then you can probably work out how to control her on the day. But in saying that, you've also got the ones that feed her. So you've got to try and minimise the amount of ball play they're getting as well.
Sure. Some great players in our team.
For her to be able to score it. So we're going to see how the game plans out. Like I said, our girls have had good training sessions this week. I'm pretty relaxed. I think Archie's happy. So looking forward to Sunday. Got a big weekend at the club, actually. I'm in a home on Saturday night as well. So big.
Who have they got? Who have they got, Liz?
Yeah, don't put me on the spot there, me and my big mouth. One moment, please. Check that. Oh, good on you, Kev.
I'll leave out of Darren's book.
Oh, you could have got me through. Oh,
It doesn't matter. It's all right.
No, I got it. I just got to change screens on my phone. That's the thing.
Who?
Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, so the men have got Virginia, so that should be interesting. Where Virginia's sitting on the men's table. 5th. That could be a good game. Our boys get some form back.
There we go. Should be another busy weekend for you, Liz.
Yeah.
Kev, where are you going to be this weekend?
I've got 2 games tomorrow night at the Snake Pit. They're my girls. We've got Maroochydore coming. We pretty much know what's coming, but I still go up there and they're my girls. I still go up there and call the games and support them. Then I'm off to Noosa, and we will do our best up there. Then I've got I'm at Ballinger Park on Sunday. I've got both the Wanderettes games against South. I think they're playing in under 18s and under 15s. I look after the Wanderettes as well. So that's 6 for this weekend. That'll put me really close to 780.
What pace?
I mean, yeah, that's made a live broadcast I've done.
I was thinking kilometres driven over the weekend.
Yeah, that could be about right too. But no, I don't mind. I don't mind driving up there because we've got to go to Gympie yet. That's a good drive.
I think we've done every long drive.
They've got a dine-in Pizza Hut. I'll tell you.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. Great place to go. So yeah, I've got a little bit to do this weekend, and I promised the mate I'd do a game for him on Tuesday night at Sunny up at Glass House because Bribey are going up there, and I help Bribey Island as well. They're my local Sunshine Coast club, so I'll probably go up there Tuesday night and do the Div 3 ladies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, because I know the coach of BG's, but I'm going there to support the Tigers.
Well and truly a gun for hire. Good stuff, Kev. All right, you two. Well, thank you very much for your company this evening. Liz Ridley from Ipswich City Bulls, thank you.
Not a
And
problem.
Kev Alderpass from everywhere, thank you.
Hey, there's something you probably don't know. Josh Sansusi plays for BG's.
Thanks for the tip.
That's all right, mate. No, thanks for the tip. All right, thanks very much for your time, mate. It was great.
Well
See you.
done,
Bye,
everyone.
Elvis.
Bye,
That
Kev.
was a Look Finance SEQFC preview show with thanks to our friends at Vilic Law. I'm Darren Lutton. We'll see you next week. Bye.